Baseball is growing in popularity in Tasmania. There are multiple teams and almost 200 players. But there's only one field, no lights, and they don't have their own change rooms.
We think that if we had more access to facilities and funding and things like that, we could grow the game considerably.
Baseball Tasmania missed out on an election grant. They didn't even know the fund existed.
Well, it would have been nice to have an opportunity.
Some with closer ties to the Liberal Party were more successful. During the election campaign, Sports Minister Nick Street announced a $50,000 grant for the Lindisfarne CWA branch, alongside the branch's treasurer, his family member.
It's inappropriate that a politician would be making a grant which could benefit, even indirectly, a friend, a member of family, or their own political party. Full stop.
Bass candidate Lara Alexander's workplace, St Vincent de Paul, received $165,000. She returned as chief executive after being unsuccessful, but she's now an MP after replacing Sarah Courtney on a countback in February.
We all want to see St Vincent de Paul continue to do its fantastic charity work, but this is a grant that was allocated without process.
It's previously been revealed Liberal Minister Madeleine Ogilvie announced a $150,000 grant for her daughter's rowing club. And Tasmanian Liberal MPs were patrons or members of at least 7 organisations that received funding.
We're talking about close to $15 million of public money that was dished out as a form of electoral bribery.
Something has gone seriously wrong here in the allocation of public money for the good of all Tasmanians.
We know both sides of politics do this. It's just got to stop.
My challenge for those commentators would be to tell us which of those projects that we committed and were transparent and open about that we shouldn't have funded.
The more than 200 grants were election promises, so they weren't assessed by the public sector. The fund wasn't costed by Treasury ahead of polling day. Integrity experts have drawn unfavourable comparisons to the federal sports rort saga and pork barrelling scandals in New South Wales.
It's clear that Tasmania has an even worse case of this disease.
These schemes are exactly the same as the problematical federal schemes and schemes of a like kind in other states which have been abused time and time again.
There are calls for an independent inquiry in an effort to stamp out the practice.
Well, I think there's an arguable case that the money has effectively been misappropriated right from the word go.
The Tasmanian government stands by the promises, saying there are benefits across the community and arguing that organisations shouldn't be ineligible for funds just because they're linked to a candidate. Alexandra Humphreys, ABC News.